What do you do with a crumbling, 100-year-old power plant that once supplied 1/5 of London's electricity? Most cities would demolish it. London spent £9 billion in 12 years to bring it back to life. Battersea Power Station stood abandoned for nearly 40 years. Its roof was gone. Its interior was gutted. Its 4 iconic chimneys were on the verge of collapse. But instead of wiping it from the map, engineers launched one of the largest regeneration campaigns in European history. More than 4,000 workers dismantled and rebuilt every chimney. They constructed an entirely new city inside a hollow industrial shell. And they extended the London Underground by 3 kilometers just to reach its front door. This is the resurrection of Battersea Power Station. Built in 2 phases from the 1930s to the 1950s along the River Thames, Battersea Power Station was once the energy heart of London. Coal arrived by barge. Turbines roared. At its peak, it supplied 1/5 of all electricity to the capital. But in 1983, the plant closed. For nearly 4 decades, it sat abandoned. The roof was removed. The turbine halls were emptied. The structure deteriorated rapidly. Developers tried and failed to revive it. Demolition was a real possibility. Then, in 2012, a £9 billion redevelopment plan was approved. This was not merely a restoration. It was a vision to transform 42 acres of brownfield land into a mixed-use urban district, with the power station as its centerpiece. The 4 white chimneys, each standing 103 meters tall, had suffered the most after 50 years of operation and 30 years of neglect. Concrete was cracked. Steel reinforcement had corroded. They could not be saved. They had to be rebuilt entirely. But Battersea sits in a dense residential area along the river. Blasting was impossible. Instead, engineers used a top-down sequential dismantling method. A full-height scaffold enclosure surrounded each chimney to control vibration, dust, and falling debris. Once the originals were removed, the new chimneys were rebuilt using modern reinforced concrete. However, heritage regulations required that they look identical to the 1930s originals. So engineers turned back the clock. They lifted materials using hoists and transported concrete by hand. Approximately 25,000 wheelbarrows of concrete were poured into circular formwork, recreating the horizontal banding visible on the original shafts. Finally, more than 400 gallons of specialized protective coating were applied to the exterior. Today, the 4 chimneys are almost impossible to distinguish from the originals with the naked eye, even though they have been completely dismantled and rebuilt from the ground up. Inside one chimney, engineers installed a passenger elevator. But the chimney is not a perfect cylinder. It widens at the base and tapers toward the top. The elevator guide rails, however, had to remain absolutely vertical. Placing the motor at the top, as in conventional designs, would have added heavy load to the structure and blocked the glass ceiling. Instead, engineers looked to the Hammerschwand lift in Switzerland, built in 1905. They reversed the entire drive system. A hoisting machine weighing about 7 tons was installed at the base of the chimney. The system uses a looped cable configuration. The cable runs from the ground-level motor up to a reinforced steel ring at the top, then loops back down to connect with the cabin and counterweight. This removes heavy load from the chimney top while preserving a completely unobstructed glass ceiling view. To accommodate the tapering walls, the guide rails were mounted on adjustable support brackets that compensate for the wall's inclination. The result is a transparent glass dome cabin capable of carrying 30 passengers, rising to 109 meters in just 26 seconds, a unique observation experience inside a historic chimney. With an area equivalent to 96 tennis courts, a structural frame made of more than 8,000 steel components, and an exterior envelope of nearly 6 million bricks, Battersea Power Station is one of the largest brick buildings ever constructed. But after decades of abandonment, it was effectively a hollow shell. Engineers had to insert 14 new structural floors into a volume originally designed for turbines and boilers. However, a major contradiction emerged. The upper levels, offices and apartments, could use conventional columns, but the retail and event spaces below needed to remain open and column-free. The solution came from skyscraper history. Engineers installed wide-flange steel transfer beams, a structural type used in the Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, and Rockefeller Center. One critical beam measured 27 meters in length, weighed 62 tons, and carried load from 8 floors above. The total transferred force exceeded 2,000 tons, with no supporting columns beneath it. They also implemented a steel transfer tree system. A large column below acts like a trunk, branching into several smaller members that receive loads from office columns above and channel them into a single supporting point. This allowed Battersea to maintain wide, column-free retail spaces on lower levels while maximizing usable floor area for offices and residential units above. Turbine Hall A, with its tens of meters high volume and industrial steel roof, was preserved almost entirely intact and transformed into a commercial grand hall. Most notably, Control Room A, the Central Operations Center, was restored in its original 1930s Art Deco style. The stone-clad control panels, mechanical switches, load meters, and original finishes were carefully dismantled, cleaned, restored, and reinstalled in their exact original positions according to archival records. Today, the building preserves not only its external architectural shell but also the historic operational center of the entire power station. One of the most important infrastructure components was not inside the building but beneath the ground. Before regeneration, Battersea was a riverside area with no direct metro connection. Large-scale development was nearly impossible. Engineers extended the Northern Line by approximately 3 kilometers, adding 2 new stations, 9 Elms and Battersea Power Station. The tunnels were excavated using tunnel boring machines through London clay, passing beneath a dense urban environment. The Battersea Station was positioned immediately adjacent to the base of the former power station. Thanks to this connection, Battersea Power Station was no longer an isolated industrial site. It became a new urban center integrated directly into London's modern underground transport network. After more than a decade of continuous construction, Battersea Power Station opened in October 2022. In the first 12 months alone, it attracted more than 11 million visitors, quickly becoming one of the most visited new urban destinations in London. During opening weekend, approximately 250,000 people came to the area within just a few days. The retail spaces, restaurants, and experience areas inside the former power station were rapidly filled with more than 120 shops and dining venues. The Lift 109 elevator system served tens of thousands of visitors shortly after beginning operation. Today, Battersea Power Station is no longer an abandoned power plant on the banks of the Thames. It is an urban center operating 7 days a week, attracting millions of visitors each year, and serving as a new development engine for the entire 9 Elms district. After nearly a century as one of London's most important power stations, Battersea faced decades of abandonment and the threat of demolition. It has been revived through one of the most complex restoration projects in Europe. What makes Battersea truly remarkable is not just the $9 billion price tag or the 12-year timeline. It is the fact that engineers built an entire city inside the shell of a nearly 100-year-old power station. Every chimney was dismantled and rebuilt. Every turbine hall was preserved while integrating modern functions. And a new underground line was extended to transform it into a fully connected urban center. Battersea Power Station is not only a heritage restoration project. It is proof that a 20th-century industrial structure can be reborn as a dynamic urban destination of the 21st century. If you want to explore more world-class megaprojects where history meets modern engineering, from abandoned power plants to transformed industrial sites, subscribe to Quick Tech Process. We go inside the most complex regeneration projects on Earth. We decode the engineering. And we show you how the past is being rebuilt for the future. Hit subscribe. Join the journey. The next transformation is already underway.